What is going on everyone, Parsnip here, and today I wanted to talk about the best places to have land. And unlike my previous video, this one is not about the looks but the practicality. Today I plan to cover a couple of things such as the type of packs you can make in each zones, the location of said housing zones, how useful will that plot of land be for you, for example, is it for PvP, for farming, and so on, and lastly, how contested will that zone be. Now, before we begin, everything that I do say in this video is just speculation and could very easily be different when the land rush happens. I also won't get into too much details on each topic as to not keep the video too long. So without further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Before you pick your land, you should know what type of packs you can make in them and what do they mean. For example, let's assume we are in the East faction. If you guys look at the map, you will notice 4 different colors highlighting different zones. Purple being luxury packs, blue represents fine packs, orange commercial packs, and green preserved packs. To simplify it, let's go ahead and use Solace as an example. As you can see, Solace is highlighted in purple and therefore it's a luxury zone. Now you might be wondering what that means, and it's pretty simple. Each pack gives a different profit depending where and when you turn it in. And there will be a link below explaining this a lot better. So luxury packs on paper give the most profit at plus 30%. Now all the other packs will go ahead and start lower. For example, fine packs will give you a plus 15% bonus within 15 minutes. Commercial packs give you a plus 5% bonus within 30 minutes. And preserved packs gives a plus 3% bonus within 6 hours of turning it in. Now, how does this affect you and where you want to get land? Ideally, since purple does give the best profit for time, you would make your house there, followed by fine packs and so on. And just in case you guys do not know, or perhaps you're a returning player, right now you can only turn in normal packs to certain places. And the east is Solace, Yenister, and Villanelle, while on the west has Soulsreed, Cinderstone, and Two Crown. Cargo packs in the meantime, which is what you'll be turning into a different continent, can only be turned in at Solace Headlands, Two Crowns, Friedrich Islands, and Diamond Shores. Now, perhaps you're looking at this in simple terms of profit per time, meaning places like Solace or Villanelle, maybe Two Crowns and Soulsreed. Those will easily be the best land. After all, on paper, it does give the most profit per time, and they are luxury zones. So that is if we only look at it from a trade run perspective. And this brings us on to the next topic, location. So let's go ahead and pretend you are a new player. What does location mean? Does the place look good? Does it have a mountain? Maybe it's a desert. Well, sure, if you have a place that's not a sore to your eyes, it'll be ideal. However, when I mention location, I take a couple of things into consideration. How easy is it to get there? Is it near a turning point or a crafting point? Is it a war zone? Do I plan to flag up? Maybe I'm from the east and want to steal packs at Two Crowns. Should I have a house there? And of course, how does the zone look? Depending who you are and what you do, location means a lot. If you don't enjoy PvP too much and you just want to relax on a Sunday morning, maybe you just want to plant some trees or go out for a simple trade run without any stress, something along those lines. A war zone is probably not for you. Now, location is something that will change from player to player, where your goals are and so on, but here are a couple of tips in picking the ideal location. If you plan to mainly PvP and you don't really care about farming, you can go ahead and use the land to help you. For example, say you see a merchant ship filled with loot, only 2 people traveling in it, and you're at Solace, right? So the trade ship will be leaving Solace. If you have a house, for example, in one of the islands in Castaway Straits, you can go ahead and teleport to it, maybe with a couple of friends, and gank that merchant ship before it's even near. If you plan to be doing trade runs from one continent to another, consider getting land near the coast. Sure, holding packs nowadays does not work well because of packs freshness and all of that, but it's always nice to be around the place you'll be leaving from. How does the zone look? After all, you will be spending a lot of time there, so ideally you pick a place that is to your liking. If you guys never played Archeage before and don't know which zone looks good, make sure to check out my previous video where I go ahead and showcase my favorite zones. Lastly guys, don't forget about the most important aspect of them all, and that is practicality. Is the land near your friends, perhaps your guild? What's around the land? Are there NPCs? Maybe a specialty workbench? And what can you grow there? What type of packs can you make there? These are all nice things to consider before picking your land. Now that you guys know the basics, you know what type of packs are in each zone, you know what to look out for, this leaves us with how contested will Sid land be, especially during the land rush. For this, let's use Villanelle as an example. Villanelle has a turning point, it produces luxury packs, it looks amazing, and it's near the coast. By all means, Villanelle is almost perfect. Therefore, Villanelle will be highly contested. Guys, if you are a player that has high ping, maybe your internet is not doing great, perhaps you don't care about luxury packs. Well, if that sounds like you, you probably want to avoid going to such a sought after land. Remember, in the land rush, if you get a land spot, it's free. Afterwards, you will have to pay a hefty penny for the prime real estate. So something we sadly do have to consider, and that is the chances we will get said land. If there are, let's say, 1,000 players in Villanelle, there's probably a mere 100 players in Rakala, so make sure you take that into consideration. After all, a bad location is better than no location. Now, I will be naming what I believe is the most sought after land and the least sought after land. Again, this is simply my opinion, guys. If you share a different one, that is also fine. There's no need to get worked up over it. That being said, let's go ahead and start out from the worst and make our way to the best. Land that has preserved packs and is harder to access compared to most, and a couple of other things that I won't be mentioning, will most likely be the least sought after. These are places like Rakala, Hasla, Perno Ruins, Enmar, and Carcass Ridgelands. In this case, we can go ahead and use Hasla as an example. Even though it does look amazing, it's pretty far, it produces preserved packs, and is in a war zone without a turning point, making it not the most ideal. Next up, we have some places that aren't great but far from the worst, such as Albuquerque, Gwynedd Forest, Silent Forest, Arkham Iris, and Sunbite Wilds. Here we can use Gwynedd Forest as an example. It's not incredibly far back, it produces commercial packs, it looks amazing, and it's not a war zone, making it a lot more sought after than the previous bunch. Now here we have places that are only second from the best, such as Falkirk Plains, Liliet Hills, White Arden, and the islands in Castaway Strait. Let's go ahead and use White Arden as an example since it's similar to Gwynedd Forest, right? The one that I mentioned previously. They both produce commercial packs, they are both near each other, so why is White Arden better? Well, turning in packs in a war zone gives you a plus 15% profit. Add the 15% bonus, it's highly realistic to do both of that from White Arden to Cinderstone Moor, especially early on when you don't have cars. Lastly, White Arden also just got a graphical update, so it does look pretty good as well. And lastly, guys, we have the places that I consider to be near perfect and what should in theory be the most contested. Places like Sosreed, Cinderstone Moor, Two Crowns, Dewstone Plains, Villanelle, Yenistor, Mahadev, and Solis Headland. These places fill a lot of criteria such as being a war zone with a turning point, looking amazing, being near the coast, producing luxury packs, or being in a very good location such as Dewstone. Lastly guys, here are some of the places that I didn't really know where to put them, so I kept them off of the list. Any of the land that you can get in Aurora, even though I do consider Diamond Shores to pretty much be one of the second best-ish types of land, so I would probably put it around there.
The Pirate Island is also another one that's going to be very hard to judge the criteria of how popular it will be and whatnot, as well as any island that's not in Castaway Strait. Sure, it'll be popular, but I'm not actually sure how popular it will be. Lastly, there are also some zones that I didn't mention in Nuya and Halcyona. However, you guys could just go ahead and use the criterias that I talked about, for example, the type of packs, its location, and whatnot, to make your own judgment of those.
So that's pretty much it, guys. As to not make the video any longer, I decided not to add any more details to things like trade runs, war zones, and so on. However, I will leave a couple links down below with everything I said and a lot of stuff that's much more detailed in the description below. So as always, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.